All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Gift of Gab. I am your host, Gabby. And today we have a very special guest. And just in time, Joe done signed the $1.9 trillion plan.
I know. Money.
Timing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome um, home team,
Home team.
woman extraordinaire, traveler, Atlanta. Thank you so much for being a part of the
Oh,
show.
absolutely, absolutely. I love what you're doing. I love how you are putting yourself out there in this space. Just creating your own ecosystem and doing what you are purposely made to do. I love it. So thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Listen. I need you in my life because so y'all, today's episode is money is the motive. We all
Money
need it
is
in
the
Atlanta in
motive.
our lives, okay? I just happened to get fortunate that one of my favorite friends is your sister, so I just feel like I had a little like backdoor in there, like, hey. I'm super, super excited. And as I said, today's episode is money is the motive. Now, I personally have given you the title of money guru, right? Because
Ah,
I have looked at your YouTube page. I have seen your posts online between Instagram and Facebook all about your journey with money. So I
mhm.
wanted to have you here today, number one, because we're all getting this extra money that's coming by way of the government. And of course, a lot of it, I'm sure, because of the pandemic and stuff, people have to pay bills. But
Right.
what about the people who they want to use this money as a little bit of leverage? They want to get on the right foot. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna go ahead and just jump in and ask you to just give us a little bit of background about yourself, right? What just tell us who you are.
So who am I? I am a sister. I am a professional. I am a lover of life.
Yes.
I'm figuring it out like everyone else. I am a first generation Haitian American, born and raised in Buck City Glades. Like that?
Yeah.
You like that?
Like I said, to all of those out there. Yes.
So yeah, and I came to a point in my life where I wanted to take a real serious handle on my money management.
Mhm.
So within the last less than 5 years, I was able to get to increase my net worth from a negative 47,000 to a current $205,000 positive net worth.
And
So
let's
I
just
want.
say, let me just interrupt you right there. You just grew like another like 5 grand in like 24 hours because I swear you was just at 200K. So y'all, the lady is making her money work for her is what it sounds like to me.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit about money in your household when you were a kid, right? Because
Mhm.
I think we all kind of learn our money habits from our parents or guardians. So, what was money like in your household growing up? The talk around it.
So money was scarce in
Mhm.
my household. So long story short, like I mentioned before, I am a first generation Haitian American. So my mom came to the country. My father brought her to the country. Unfortunately, almost a year after I was born, my dad passed away. So she was forced to raise a 5 to 6 kids all alone by herself in a country where she wasn't familiar with the culture. Not alone did she speak the language. So for me growing up, the theme of money and scarcity was at its core because it wasn't about thriving, right? It was
Mhm.
all about surviving.
Right.
And I mentioned to a friend of mine a while ago, we were talking about like our parents and like childhood and stuff. I still remember, like visually remember me going to my mom. We were eating something. I don't know what it was, but I see my mom on to the side and I asked my mom, does she want to like why she's not eating? She said, no, baby, just go ahead and eat. And
Right.
that's when I realized she went to bed without eating.
Wow.
She only allowed us to eat because we only had enough for her kids to eat, right? So that was really the theme of my childhood. So we really didn't really discuss money. It's like when you have it, when you're young, you're growing up. with your childhood friends. It's like, you know, you get a pickle egg or you get some
Yes,
sausages
for
or
the
you get
hood
like,
snack, pickle egg.
right. Right. So we had the candy lady. So you spend, right? You
Right.
spend because at that time when you get $1, $2, $5, you don't think you will get it again, right? Or that amount of money or a lot of money at that time at this low point. So like you just spend it. So again, it was really surviving. We had what we needed. Right. And I always commend my mother. As I got older, I commend my mother. I give her so much respect. Being a widow parent, not a single parent, she's a widow, right? And she had to do the best within the resources that she had. And I think about that, and the subject of money wasn't really about why didn't we have it. It was all about, I thought about how can we survive the next day. You know, my mom can have, you know, lights, you know, we can have everything that we need, just essentials. So that was really the theme of just the money management. And, you know, as you get older, you exposed to more people and you start seeing how money management is different in different cultures. But for my childhood, it was mainly about scarcity because we were trying to survive.
Right. And I like something that you said in there, because that's a phrase that I have come to learn over the course of my life and with my own money struggles, that you want to move from surviving to thriving. So
exactly.
At what point in your money journey did the light click on, or something happen that said, I no longer want to survive, I want to thrive with my money? What happened, or just kind of when did that light just kind of pop on for you?
I don't have a point of reference. I think it was just a lot of little things that became a bigger picture within pieces, right? But I do recall a conversation, and I mentioned it a few times. I recall a conversation I had with my close friend, who's not only one of my best friends, you know, he is like my mentor, right? He asked me, what is my net worth? And I was ashamed to tell him. I was really ashamed, and I thought about why I felt this shame. And because I'm really about emo, you know what I'm saying? I'm really an emo person. I'm trying to I try to figure out why to do things that I do. And I think at that time, in a point of my life of labeling myself to be ashamed of expressing my negative net worth at a time, because I felt like a failure. And I also felt like a fraud. You know, because you perceive yourself one way, you know, how people see you, but deep down inside, when you're home alone or when you out being the person that you think you're supposed to be, it's a fraud. Because no one knew I had negative net worth. No one knew, you know, I'm just like bouncing these bills around, like what should pay first? Like who's gonna get this payment, right? No one knew about those things, but how I perceived myself. You know, I'm here, I'm flying out there, you know, my hair is always on point, you know, and I didn't want my friend to see me in that way. I want him to see the perception and the image of what I want others to see. So and eventually, you know, I did tell him, because I told him that I wanted to build that on my own. I feel like there's a shame culture a bit, especially in the Black community. There's a shame culture. It's like, if you're not thriving, if you're not doing great, what are you doing with your life, right? Like it's always like pointing fingers. But that conversation kind of led me to see that when you are vulnerable, right, there's strength in being vulnerable.
Absolutely.
The vulnerability is within your strength, because I didn't know, not only was I was in a negative, 37,000 at that time. He was a negative 6 figures at that time. So we were really engaging and getting to see and understand money management, how he went from, you know, the negative to the positive number. I'm like, okay, I see you, you know, and I was feeling proud. I was feeling really proud about it. But I think that conversation kind of segued into really taking my money management seriously. I'm like, if he did it with a negative 6-figure net worth, I could definitely do it with a negative 47,000 net worth, right? Absolutely. So that really kind of pivot the conversation in me taking what I was learning and applying to my everyday life, because I was only seeing like people making X amount of money, this and that. So they were able, in their foundation, they were able to kind of pivot so much faster than me. And when you see exponential growth like that, you don't realize their journey. You just see, oh,
you just see the growth.
You see the growth. You don't see their journey, and you feel so far away. You feel this small. You know what I'm saying? You feel really small. You feel like, I can't do that. Like, I felt so discouraged at some point. Yeah. But I think seeing a person in my own circle do that, and he encouraging me to do it, and that really pushed me in for me to apply the knowledge to kind of push like my money management to get to what the point I am now. And it wasn't, easy sales. It was a lot of sacrifices. But
it's just the getting started. That's the hardest part. It's the getting started. But I can appreciate the fact that you and your friend were able to be vulnerable with each other and share those experiences in the space that you were in. Because let's just be honest, I don't really care how close you are with certain people in your life. We don't want to share our financial vulnerabilities, because that's gonna expose a lot about who I am and who I show you I am. So that is definitely a big thing in healing a lot of the issues that we have, whether it's money or depression or anything else. It's being in that place to be vulnerable. So now tell us, I looked at your YouTube video, but I want you to tell the people here, tell us some of your biggest money mistakes. And let me just say this. Tell us about the car.
I thought I'll leave that on YouTube. I thought I'll leave that on YouTube. Oh my God. That's just the one of the biggest money mistakes. But there's plenty of money mistakes. Plenty. Purchase a car I couldn't even afford. Yeah, I'm financing the car on a part-time salary. Ooh, and I'm offsetting the difference is with taking out student loans to make sure I'm able to afford, so I could get a net check. At FAMU, you would call it net check, right? Your refund that you get after tuition and books. So I was trying to afford a lifestyle that wasn't meant for me to begin with. And I was doing it so early on because in college, I didn't have anyone to depend on. If something happened to me financially, I'm stuck, right? So I was placing myself deeper and deeper and deeper into debt, knowing, I didn't have a blanket. I didn't have a place to go back to if something happened to me. So the pressure was really on, and I didn't realize, almost 10 years later, however long later, I just placed myself in real bad positions. But I was able to kind of fix those positions to kind of help me lead my money management to where it is now. But there's plenty of them. The car, financing, clothes.
Ooh, yes. Listen, let me tell you. So let me just share a little bit here. Let me be vulnerable. So I come from a single parent household. And when I went off to school, I had a scholarship, but I don't think we realized at the time that certain scholarships, they don't pay exactly. Most of the time athletic scholarships, they will pay for room and board and a little bit of food and books and all that good stuff. But my scholarship only paid for school. It didn't pay for me a place to stay. So I was taking out loans because I got a single mom back home that, I didn't have a blanket. Exactly like you said, I couldn't fall back on anything. So I will tell you, one of my worst money habits when I was young was when I figured out they don't even care how bad or good my credit is. They will give me a student loan. What?
Exactly.
I could finance an outfit to go to the classic. What? And not realizing that in 20 years I got to pay interest on that outfit. So that was a very bad money habit. So I can definitely agree with you there. So
it was just lack of preparation. It just lack of preparation. We weren't prepared, lack guidance, so it's really within that. We just wasn't prepared for college on the financial end. We weren't prepared for it.
Definitely, because we don't have a lot of these conversations, unfortunately, in Black households still. We still don't talk about money enough. And, you know, we learn times tables and the and science and stuff in school, but they don't teach us one of the very foundations of life, and that's how to manage money. So
how to manage your money.
Let's see. Okay, so since we are talking about, or since we did mention at the beginning of the call that, you know, this stimmy is about to stimulate us, right?
Stimulate it.
It's about to stimulate us. So let's talk about some good debt versus bad debt.
Yeah.
What is some good debt and what is some bad debt?
Well, I will say within the good debt, it really varies on how you see it, because the good debt is also bad debt as well. So they're interchangeable if that's how you kind of perceive money, right? Because I perceive on the return on investment. Right. So my my total student loans, well, at the time was negative 47,000. Now it's down to negative 37,000 whatnot. I said negative because it's still something, a liability I still have to pay for. Absolutely. However, because I went back to school and got a graduate degree, now I'm making 3 times as more of my debt. That makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm making 3 times. So I have a path to pay off that debt. So it is bad debt, it's a student loan, but that investment has now provided me with a salary that I'm comfortable to live off, and plus pay off debt. So it really depends on how you look at it. Because I look at debt as interchangeably. A lot of people say, you know, homes are debt, you know, having a mortgage is debt. However, gradually homes have a greater return on investment because it appreciates. Absolutely. Right. Yeah. So it really depends on how you kind of define debt. I define the debt is the return on investment worth the debt you're placing yourself into. Gotcha. Right. Mm-hmm. Is it really worth it? Because a lot of people say, you know, your car is a debt. I'm like, is it?
Right. That's true.
Is it? Because once you finally pay off your card, so now what is providing it? You have an extra amount of money that you were financing your car. You could finance, start investing, start saving, start doing it. But what it also give you a resource. When you think about it, your vehicle give you a resource to get to work, to get to other opportunities, to make more money. Gotcha. So it really depends on how you look at it. So I personally see good debt and bad debt, but especially bad debt is what is the cost and the return on investment on the debt you put yourself into.
Gotcha.
Because if it's not much of a return on investment, it's not a good investment to place yourself in.
It might be some horrible debt, huh?
Right. It's not really worth the debt it puts yourself into. Yeah.
So one of the things that you kind of touched on was like investing. So talk to us a little bit about just kind of how you got into investing, and share some advice on people who are new to, you know, investing. Like it's the wave now. Like I see it everywhere.
It's the way. It's the trend.
It's the trend. I mean, Forex and all this stuff, and you know, some of that stuff. I'm like, I will tell you before you get started. I am one of those people who I am anti-Forex, right? Because every person I've come across, they're like, oh, this is a part of the stock market that is not regulated, that we basically get to trade in and make a lot of money off of. Mm-hmm. And here's where my common sense kicks in for me. I say, in America, do you think the American government is going to let you play in a part of the stock market and make bukus of cash and they don't care? This is America. They get taxes out your check before you get your check. So
right.
That's that. But talk to us a little bit about investing and just kind of how to get started, best practices, anything.
Okay, so I just want to say that the culture that we have now, especially with social media, this trend, this wave, and how people look into investing, especially how people take in information. Because information just moves just so fast and constantly, we can have it on the brink of our phone instantly. But I want people to be very mindful of where you're getting your advice from. Creating LLCs, creating businesses, understand that the knowledge that's placed out there is not in the best interest for everyone. It's not one size fits all for everybody. And I do not advise people to get into investing when you have $10,000 credit card debt, when you have all these situations in place. So in the financial world, they call it the financial operating or order of operations, right? Financial order of operations. So when you're looking into investing, just understand there's are risks. You just don't make money, $20,000 in 3 weeks.
Right.
There are risks, but there are also gains when you do thrive to invest for long term, right? But the stock market is volatile, so you have to understand there's risk for it. So I don't advise people to get into investing when you don't have 2 or 3 months of savings. Like minimum, you should have at least 2 or 3,000. The average American don't have $400 in their savings.
Wow.
The average person don't have so one of your friends, they don't have $400 in their savings, but you want to invest $5,000 in the stock market.
Wow.
You see, that don't really add up. Don't really add up.
There's some imbalance there.
Right, there's some imbalance. That's why they call it the financial order of operation, because they want you to not have minimum amount of debt. So you have to eliminate the credit card, because credit card interest alone is like 23, some of them like 35% interest rate, like crazy. And I still don't understand why the government don't regulate that, but there's no here and there. But you have to kind of eliminate the credit card debt. You have to have savings, right? Because this when you are investing in seriously get into investing, there's still fees that you have to pay, right? You take money out, fees, you buy their fee. There's always some kind of fee. They want their money at some point. So you have to have liquid cash, not only just for investing, but to understand that it's life. Right. Things happen. Emergency happens. You break break the car, or you get into, a slight incident at work. There's so many things that happen. You cannot have the debt that you're having. So if you have, let's say, 23% of credit card debt that is accumulating interest each month, that you're not paying off, but you're taking that same money you could pay off that debt into the stock market. You're not weighing out the pros. There's so much cons in that. So you're putting more money into investing than paying off the debt, but you're accumulating more interest off that debt than you are gaining money in investing.
So for the people, so for the people out there, what I hear you saying is take care of your debt first. Before you go playing in people's stock market streets, take care of your debt.
Take care of your debt. Credit card is killing people every day. Credit card debt is killing people every day. And there's no regulation. That the government is not regulating credit cards. And it's easy to get into, $300. Then, I pay it next month. 600, 800. It's so easy to utilize it. Not to say that you're not going to pay it off, but use it in a smart way. Right. Because that debt interest rate is ridiculous. So it doesn't make sense if you're gaining average interest for stock market. It's like 7 to 8% annually, but your credit card debt is like 36.
Oh yes, girl, been there.
A month. Like.
They're
killing you. They're killing you with the interest rate. So it doesn't make sense when you're trying to gain money in the stock market and you're losing money because you're not paying off your debt. Right. So you have to be smart. And I want people to understand is that when we're talking about investing, it's not just solely, stock market, I got to buy Bitcoin, I got to Forex, like chill. Right. You're excited, chill. You sometimes just have to kind of like place it on a basic level, because when you think about investing, it's any money that's being contributed to the stock market. Your retirement account is being contributed to the stock market. Your health savings account is being contributed to the stock market. So if you're not ready to invest, individually into your portfolios, you're investing at your job every paycheck.
Wow.
it depends on your job, 2 or 3% automatically is taken out your paycheck pre-tax into your retirement account. Your money is working for you. The money is there working for you. So while you're investing into your retirement account, you could just start paying off, your credit card debt, any other things, save money on the side. And then you can get into the real investment with the brokerage account, with your individual stocks. You can get into those things. But it's always best to have the foundation. Having that foundation is always best, because you don't want to do it out of order. And now you're rumbling trying to find your money, because you're getting into these situations where you're not putting the security into your risk tolerance. That makes sense?
It does. And I love the way that you really dummy this down for people like me, because I have no financial sense. I will tell you, like, I do not come from a house that had financial literacy. It was like, spend it. You got it? Spend it.
Yeah.
You'll find a way to make it back. Spend it. And I lived under that mentality where I'll spend it this weekend. Oh, I'll pay it back on my next check. And then your next check comes and it's like, well, damn, I got to figure out, do I want to buy grocery or do I want to pay back that thing that I said I was going to do 2 weeks ago? So, I appreciate you very much for simple.
You want to have a cushion. You always want to have a cushion for yourself, but you don't want to solely, and I had to get at that myself, the pattern of, I paid off my credit card. I have no money in checking account, bruh. My paycheck's in 2 weeks. Like, what am I gonna do? I need money. I need expenses to pay, like basic things. Right. I'm back using my credit card. Like, the cycle is going over and over again. So you just want to have a cushion for yourself, so you don't solely rely on your credit card. And I advise people to, if you don't feel like you are disciplined enough, just put basic stuff on your credit card. Let's say I put my car insurance, because I like my points. I love credit card points. So I put my car insurance on there, like recurring expenses. I put I pay off my cell phone bill. So these are things I know I'm going to pay off anyway. So I get the points no matter what. So that money, I know my paycheck, because I break my budget down each pay period. So that money, I know I'm going to pay off my cell phone or, a light bill or something. I just put on my credit card, knowing it's going to be covered anyway. So I take my checking account and pay it off my credit card anyways. Gotcha. So that's what I do for myself.
That's really smart. So you brought up the B word.
Budgeting.
Let's talk a little bit about budgeting. So where do we start when it comes to budgeting? How should we approach it? Especially if we already feel like we're drowning in debt and we're like, how can I budget and I don't have anything, so where do you recommend we start?
I think people, because I was afraid for myself, I can speak from my own personal experience when it comes to budgeting, is not knowing where your money is going. That's really essentially the basic idea when in budgeting. You have to understand is tracking your money. Where did it go? Where did I spend my money? So it's really tracking it and projecting what are you going to do for the following month, or how you're going to spend your money. So it's just really tracking. When you think about it that way, it's like, okay. So when that is the foundation, I think with budgeting, it breaks it down for you. Get like this. I'm a visual person, because I like to write. I have a lot of stuff on mind. I really like to write everything that I have to pay for. It gives you a really good visual of things that are needed to pay, especially when you're unsure about your income, or if your income is not set. So it gives you a good visual of things that needs to be paid. Like, you need the lights,
right?
Amen. You need your water, like you need your cell phone, So these are things that have to be paid. So it gives you a really good idea what is the spec, things that are reoccurring, that is set, and things that you want to do. So you have to give your money, your dollars, a job. Like,
I like the way you said that. Okay.
I don't work for you. You work for me. Every dollar has a job. Right. And they're just saying, I forgot where I seen it. It says, show me your credit card statement, or show me your checking account statement, and I'll show you where your real priority lies. You can really see, because someone they'll tell me, I love to invest. I want to do this, I'm saving the money for this, for a house. Right. You look at their statement, she went to Fashion Nova 5 times this month. She put credit card on this. Like it doesn't correlate. It doesn't match up to your goal.
Right.
You know, you say you want to do one thing, but your money and your dollars are not going to the goal. It's going to somewhere else. So you may think you have a hand on your money, but your money really got a hand on you, because they're just like, they out here in the panoramic and doing what they want to do. Like the money is just like this. You like, yeah, I gotta go, girl. You don't.
That Uber Eats demon had a hold on me, okay? I was hoping you didn't say Uber Eats because you was really going to be attacking me.
It's all over the place. And it's not to demonize anyone, not to point finger, because I've done it myself. Absolutely. It is a pattern. It was a habit, and I had to break the habit. Right. But if you can get to any of that point, you have to kind of see where your money is going. You can't think like, yeah, you know, I spent like, I went out like 3 times this month, but you went out 10 in your statement. So you have to kind of get a good idea. You want your money to work for you. You don't want your money, you know, the money to have control over you. Right. It can't be vice versa. So I think with budgeting, it's just really writing down all your expenses, things that you need to pay for, like, you know, it's a loan or whatever. Just put that down too, because now you are placing the thought and the idea in your head of the goal that you're trying to do. And I'm a very, as you know, my sister, we're very like affirmations, and we love energy, and we love all that stuff. There is power to the pen. There is power in writing down things that you want to do. And I also believe that when it comes to budgeting, so you're not only just placing numbers to your expenses, but you're placing the goal and the purpose of those dollars, because those dollars are going to get you where you need to go if you apply it right. And that's the power of budgeting. That's the power of writing down everything that you are setting for, because you're giving each dollar a job. And when you do that and you're disciplined, it will assign and go to those things that you want to do and get you to the point where you are happy with your money finances.
Absolutely. Listen, yes for the gems. I told y'all, yes for the gems. Okay, so we talked about the B word, which kind of brings me to my next point. On your YouTube, I love your top 5 smart money moves. Okay, so you put, my favorite one is number 5, and I'm gonna go through them. But investing, which we've covered, medical procedures outside the U.S. That was really smart. No car payments. Girl, I aspire. And let me just shout out to the girls who drive Honda Accords, because yes, I love my Honda.
For sure. I love
you have a name for your car?
Oh, that's Mr. B. That's Mr. Black. It's all black.
Yeah.
It's all black. Mr. B. Yeah.
My girl's name
that's
is
my baby.
My girl's name is Honey, because she flows so well. and you were right. I love what you said in your video, that, you know, you got a car that was low maintenance. That's why I decided, like, I've always loved Honda Accords. Like, I know people have dream cars about Benzes and stuff like that, but you ask anybody close to me, my dream car since I was little has always been a Honda Accord. Like, the most basic. But they're very low when it comes to maintenance. So just a really, really smart thing to do. Like, everybody want to drive a G-Wagon, I'm sure, but does it make sense? Yeah. And then you said cash back rewards, and you dropped two things that I definitely want you to cover, and low hair maintenance.
Well, I'm not showing my hair now. Looking kind of crazy earlier, but yeah, I don't have the.
That's my favorite one, because we actually had the same journey where we both had locks and chopped it all off. And just the money that I saved, even though I learned how to do my own locks just like you still like to go to the salon every now and again for a refresh. But the money that I saved in cutting off my hair, and of course, this ain't for everybody. Right. I just looked and I was like, dang. When I was like making it a habit to go to the salon all the time, you know, it was like $100 a pop to get the retwist. So I was like, Oh, wow. Look at all the money I saved there. But yeah, so investing, medical procedures outside of the US, no car payments, cash back rewards, and low hair maintenance. So talk about those to us a little bit. How did you come up with those top 5 smart money moves?
I think I think with all that, again, it was all in experiences, and I think with the car, and when cause I worked my butt off to pay off that car. I purchased that car back in college, so it was my first finance car, right? And I didn't really have the money, so I was like offsetting a lot of stuff with debt or getting an extra job to pay off my car. So when I finally paid it off, it was just like this proud feel. I'm like, I'm never getting a finance car again. I'm like, I'm not putting myself in this. But I learned within that getting my car paid off. It's like I'm very practical. I just learned I'm very practical. I'm just like, I just want a car to get to work. Because I had a bad car before then. Like my car was just a lemon. So I'm just like, I just want a car to get to work. It had a radio. It got AC.
Right. Big thanks for the AC.
It has brakes. I'm just like, thank Lord. Like that's all I want. Like I don't care about any of that fancy stuff, right? So with the hair journey, I think with that took over time too, because in college I experimented with so many things. I went from the perm to natural to weave, and I just wanted to try different looks. But again, I learned that with my hair journey as well, it's like, damn, you are beautiful just the way you are. And I just love feeling like scratching my scalp and feeling like my 4C hair is just like all thick and luscious. And I'm just like, if I could just do this and accept me for who I am, because I think just so much pressure of looking a certain way, thinking someone want me in a certain way and not feeling the love that I needed to feel. So that's what I learned in my money journey. So when I cut off my locks, I felt free. Yeah. I felt so light, and I felt like a reintroduction of who I am, because it's like I don't need anyone confirmation of who I am. I'm presenting myself as I am, of who I am to the world. And if you like it a lot, it doesn't stop me from being me, and a damn no don't stop me from making money. So and I think it's within that to understand, because you learn appreciation of having your hair out, because some I go weeks without getting a lineup, or just like whatever. Right, I go a while sometimes, and I don't feel less than. Yes, I don't feel inefficient. I step out without makeup, and I do and I still feel bomb. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
absolutely.
It's not something I'm lacking. It's just like, okay, cool, I'm me, and I feel good about it. So I think the hair journey kind of like made me really understand how practical I am. It's like, okay, I just want my hair to feel soft and not break, and and that's all I wanted. With the cash backs, when I learned about it, I'm just like, hold up. So a store that I know I'm going to shop anyway, you'll give me money? You'll give me money? I'm like, okay. Like so with cashback, so one of the two things I mentioned in my video is the first one is Dosh. It's DOSH. So Dosh is a great app, and I tell people all the time about it, because I was a frequent traveler, because before COVID, and they give you like $40-$50 cash back for booking at certain hotels. Wow. So the last cash back I received, I went to one of my close friends' wedding in Orlando and went to Garden, and I think I got $45 cash back for booking at a hotel. I was looking for a hotel anyways. Right. So I booked at a hotel, and after like 30 days, they gave me the cash back, which I just thought was awesome. So you are doing something no matter what. Right. I have to go to the pet store. I have to get gas. Why not get the cash back and enter the information on there, use your credit card, use your debit, and you're just receiving the money. So not only I want my money to work for me, but I want you to pay me for using all these technology, for taking my money. Yes. And people look at it like, I don't want to give away my information, because some people are like reluctant like that. I don't want to give. I'm like, You are on social media.
Yeah.
You have the email.
You got a social security number. America know all they want to know.
The privacy is inevitable at this point. They're looking up everything. Why not pay me for using my data? Yep. You're gonna use it anyways. Why not pay me? And that's how I look at it. I'm like, I'm going to the grocery store. I need to pick up sausage. I need to pick up, some salad, lettuce. Okay, I'll try this new brand. I don't mind. I'll try it out. You gonna pay me $1? Cool. Right. I don't mind. And I think that's where I look at it. It's like I want to optimize every dollar as much as I can. And it builds up so fast. It builds up so fast. So not only DOS you can use for like retail and travel, but you can also use Ibotta. Ibotta. I keep calling it Ibotta, but it's called Ibotta, IBOTTA. So that really is on grocery. So you can try different grocery brands, different items, and they give you cash back. And they also have like these challenges. You can earn more money on top of your cash back. So when I joined it back in 2017, in total, I think lifetime earning was like over $400.
Wow.
Tax-free.
Look at the kids. See, I'm downloading this right now, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't have it, but I want all of me back. Okay. Oh my God. Right.
That's just extra money that you can just use for yourself. Like I think I needed gas or something. So I just transferred that money to my account. I had like an extra $60. I'm like, cool. Wow. I don't have to pay for it. I want my money to work. I feel like you're placing yourself out there. You're putting your data. Have people pay you. Yeah. They're taking your information. That's how I look at it. They're taking your information. Anyways, have them pay you. They want you to try out these different brands and products. Have them pay you. So I feel like I'm my own brand influencer in my own way because I'm getting paid slowly to do the things that these companies and Fortune 500 companies are just taking our free information just as that. So I really encourage people to do cashback rewards. And at first I will say disclaimer that it is tough because it's a habit. I have to look at my app to be sure, okay, I'm going Forever 21. Is Forever 21 on here? I can get cashback, or I'm going to Express, or I need gas. Is gas on here? So you have to kind of create that habit for it. But once the money start piling up, it's good money.
Wait till say I can go at this week. Okay, we're going there. Right. That is amazing. That is amazing. So, all right. So let me just say, I really, really appreciate you being vulnerable here because this is some vulnerability. I appreciate you sharing your journey with people like me because so many times, like you talked about with your friend, so many times people don't want to share the recipe. They want us to taste the gumbo, which is hella good, but they don't want to share the recipe. And I get it because it's vulnerability, and we don't want people to know for the lack of a better expression, the ugly side of us. So yeah. I really sincerely appreciate you coming here to the Gift of Gab and sharing your knowledge and sharing your journey with us. And I will tell everyone to subscribe to your YouTube channel. I love your practicality. I consider myself a minimalist. I don't need all that. And I love the way you just make money make sense. Like when you talked about 7 ways to, have Valentine's Day without breaking the bank. I loved it.
Yeah, so, couple dates, yeah.
I absolutely loved it. And it's just, this topic for me is really near and dear to my heart. Because like I said, I don't come from a background of financial literacy. So even though I want the people to hear this, I wanted to hear it myself because I'm still on that journey. I'm still trying to break out of a lot of habits that I have had. Like I told you, that Uber Eats demon, like I don't cook, Atlanta. I don't cook. Like that ain't me. And I'm not like one of them people who can eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich either. I got kind of expensive taste. So hey, Gabby, baby, you got to start driving to the people. Like, we got to figure out some way to save some money. And these are just really practical ways to do just that. So please let the people know where they can find you, any services you have to offer. Shout out anybody you want to shout out. I know you are part of the illustrious FAMU, so please go ahead, do your thing.
So thank you again, Gabby, for having me on your podcast. I really appreciate it. I'm just so glad. I'm like, yeah, girl, be on your podcast. I'll just thank you so much for having me, sharing my story, sharing practical tips. So if people still want to get more information on my channel, so on YouTube, it's Alainta, or you can just search me under Alainta. It's spelled Alainta. I'm also on Instagram. So I'm on Instagram. So my Instagram is It's Alainta. So it's ITS_Alainta, ALAINTA. You can find me on Facebook, my first and last name, Alainta again. And also we do have a Facebook group. We call ourselves 10-Time Wealth Multipliers. So this is a community that we all sharing practical tips, advice of how to get from a negative network to a positive network. And we are building and creating this community together, because we want to have these spaces like your podcast is, and to have this digital space and ecosystem for people to see the plan and the management of how you can get from negative to positive. And it's not that difficult. It's just a lot of discipline.
Right.
A lot of discipline. And I think where in our community, when you see a person doing it, we don't like to share. We only like to share the highs. But I place my vulnerability out there because I want people to understand that the highs will come, but you have to learn on the lows. You have to learn on the low points of where you are in your life, because you won't have any amount of growth. Your money may grow, but then if you don't learn personally and internally and have that self-awareness, then your money will just go away. You continue a cycle of just debt and negativity. So I want people who like to be a part of this space. You know, we're on Facebook. Reach out to me. It's called 10-Time Wealth Multipliers. Reach out to me on Instagram, YouTube, whatnot, and we're thriving. There's no more surviving.
Yes, see, well, Beyonce now, I appreciate y'all song Survivors, but we're gonna need a remix called Thrivers. That's where we at now.
Yeah.
And I am a part of that Facebook group, and I love it. I love the little gems that are dropped in there. Now now forgive me if I missed the date, but are you going to be on a panel that's coming up soon, or did you already do that?
Yeah, so the panel is I see I have so much going on. I need to write that.
That's all right.
Yes, I forgot. Yeah, so I will be on a panel. So this panel is actually live. So it's in Lake Worth, a youth panel. So I will be in that. It's at a church. I'll be on a youth panel just speaking to some of the younger students in middle school and high school about money, as well as career advice and how can they just thrive and moving into their collegiate years in college. So that's that, but that's mainly just on a local level. If you're not in West Palm, then I don't know what to tell you.
Hey,
I'm not sure what to tell you.
Home team, that's not far. Y'all get over there to Lake Worth and get some extra gems dropped in your bucket. But yeah, I mean,
but we created workshops and things that are coming up. So like if you join the 10-Time Wealth Multiplier, we're creating workshops that are coming up. A credit workshop that's coming up. I'm really excited to speak about that, as well as a home ownership workshop that's coming up. I recently became a homeowner, so I just want to share my tips. Thank you. I just want to share my tips and advice to people of how I got from the negative network to a homeowner to a positive network. So it's a journey, and I want to share as much knowledge and information to people, because it's not just only, you know, the Instagram life and the hashtags. Like, we are really thriving, not only on a personal level, professionally. Like we're sharing the information because we don't want to do this alone. We want people that look like us doing it with us. Practical information. I'm not telling you to do, you know, Forex, Bitcoin, whatever, but I'm not sharing that information. I want people to thrive on where they are in their life.
Wow.
You can do it where you are in your life. You can do it. You don't have to wait until you get to 60,000, 70,000. No, you can do it at the level you are. The setback is, are you willing to try?
Right.
Are you willing to start? And so this is the community that we're really trying to build, because I want people to look at us to thrive as much as possible.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you again for being a part of this. And for everybody else out there, y'all always know what I say. Make sure you take care of yourself, especially when it comes to money. Don't spend that stimulus check all in one place, but make sure you take care of yourself and each other. Peace, y'all.
All right, peace.
Thank you. Listen, oh wait, did I start?